back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about and discussing Dead Cide 2, aka Safe House, a brand new title brought to you guys by Devsisters. Alrighty, so before we officially dive right in here, there's going to be a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about before we dive into this information. The very first one is, no, I don't work for the developers. I don't have any insider information about this game or any of the future titles coming up by Devsisters. Secondly, all of the information presented in today's video is all public knowledge, all public information. I've sourced it all out from, via the internet. And third and final here, I do not know how factual the information is. Right now, just take it as purely theory. We'll find out more information, I'm assuming, once, the DevNov event does drop on April 14th. So with that being said here, diving into the very first post that I want to talk about, and that's going to be on the official Devsisters website underneath the news section and press releases. Back on April 4th of 2022, they basically were announced, the winners of the Pocket Gamers People Choice, Awards. However, if we scroll down here and we actually read a little bit more into the entire article, they actually mention in this paragraph here, it says, with this being a momentous occasion for Devsisters, the company also announced its first global digital showcase, DevNov, happening on April 14th. It says, which will dive into the next big franchise, Dead Cide Club, and much, much more. So up until this point, I have never heard this term, Dead Cide Club. I mean, we literally know all of the games that are only on the Devsisters website and or when I could find, scouring the internet for the term Safe House. I found a couple of images. I don't know exactly how old they are, but that's literally it, all I could find about the game. However, now we've got this new game or this new IP being called Dead Cide Club, and I'm going to tell you guys, when you take that and plug that into Google, it actually returns quite a bit of information. So doing exactly that, taking those keywords, Dead Cide Club, plugging them into Google, delivered me this article, which is going to be provided by fandomfair.com. If we scroll down, we can see here that this article was last edited on April 6th of 2022. Devsisters announced date for DevNov, the company's first ever online showcase. We scroll down, it says, the inaugural DevNov will feature updates about live games including Cookie Run Oven Break, Cookie Run Kingdom, and introduce new games and services in a unique way. Now, the next thing here that they're going to be talking about is the most important part, and that's going to be discussing this brand new Dead Cide Club. In particular, a new 3D shooter game previously known as Safe House will make a public debut with a brand new title, Dead Cide Club. Dead Cide Club is going to be the first new title to be launched in 2022 to target PC and console players, and DevNov will reveal the game concept, gameplay preview, and new information for the very first time. Oh, let's go! So, we essentially got some sort of, confirmation. Now, obviously, it's provided by fandomfair.com. This is not going to be provided, from the Devsisters website, so, naturally, you got to take it for what it's worth. But at the end of the day, they are speaking the truth. They're basically saying that, previously known as Safe House, now is going to be called Dead Cide Club. And not only that, we're going to be getting additional information about the game concept, the game preview, and also, anything and everything to do with that title for the very first time at that brand new DevNov event. However, though, there's one big factor that you might have missed, and that's going to be this line here. It says, in 2022 to target PC and console gamers. So what's very interesting here to me is that it says PC and console gamers. Up until this point, I think Devsisters have only developed for the mobile platform, and I could be completely wrong, and maybe they do have other games out there that I just don't know about, or games in the past that, haven't really been as popular as the Cookie Run series on mobile, but nevertheless, this is going to be a title that seems to be coming to PC and console, and they do not mention mobile, so I'm very eager to see exactly how they play that out via the DevNov event. And then the rest of the article here basically says, additionally, a gameplay preview of Cookie Run Oven Smash, a brand new Cookie Run title, will be revealed, and fans will be able to see a dynamic battle between cookies on a massive map. Okay, so that makes me even more excited here. We're basically going to be getting a gameplay preview of Cookie Run Oven Smash. Now, I know that you guys are, more excited about waiting for Project B, the open world co-op, adventure experience, behind the Cookie Run, Project B title. However, though, this is going to be another brand new Cookie Run IP that eventually is going to be coming out. We don't know if it's going to be launching 100%, confirmed in 2022, but nevertheless, we will see an additional preview coming up at the DevNov event. And then to finish up the article here, we've got the lineup will also include news about the following games: Cookie Run Witch's Castle, a puzzle adventure game, and then Project B, a casual co-op game. My Cookie Run, which is going to be an online platform for Cookie Run fans, and Brick City, a world-building simulation game. It says, recognizing that Cookie Run franchise is beloved globally, subtitles will be available in Korean, English, Chinese, Japanese, and Thai, with a plan to host DevNov annually. Devsisters plans on gradually expanding the event as a way to celebrate and communicate directly with fans around the world. All right, so very interesting here, man. That just gets me pumped for the overall DevNov event. We're getting a ton of information, it seems, here. And not only that, I love the fact that they are going to be bringing the DevNov event here annually, which is really going to help bridge the gap between, their players and also their developers. You guys let me know what your thoughts are down below on this. But for now, I want to dive into this second article here that I want to talk about that goes a little bit deeper into this new Dead Cide Club. So essentially, that's going to be this article you see on screen provided by gamespress.com. You can see back all the way in February of 2021, they dropped this article that says Devsisters share teaser of 2 new games for 2021. However, we're not going to read this entire thing, okay? It's not going to be anything I need to show you. What I want to talk about, and that's going to be this specific paragraph here. And it says, later this year, Devsisters will globally launch its first Steam game, codenamed Project Safe House. This will be the company's first hardcore shooter game and platform expansion onto Steam. Inevitably, it will be darker than other Devsisters games, as the violence won't be limited to cookie characters. In true Devsisters design style, the visuals will take center stage with monumental buildings and unique structures taking full advantage of the PC platform. Fierce combat with force players into concealment, defense, and surprise attacks as they tap into the geological features and spatial structures of buildings located in the middle of the city. Adding to the layers of the game's complexity and competition, the game will allow players to also create their own game maps and hold competitions. Oh, I'm here for it. Let's go. You guys already know, man, if you've been following and subscribed to my channel for quite some time, you guys already know that I love me some competitive shooters. You guys know that, man. Everything from battle royales to team deathmatches to 3v3s. Whatever it is, you guys know that I love a good old shooter game. So I'm very excited to see this one come, shine some light. Not only that, I'm very curious to see how this plays out for the Devsisters. As the article mentions, it's their very first platform game outside of the mobile is what it seems to show. And it also says the very first Steam game, which has a massive market for these style of games. So I'm very curious to see how it plays out. But nevertheless, guys, I am super pumped. You already know that I'm going to be jumping in here and playing it. And not only that, it's by Devsisters, which I already enjoy their other games that they have developed on the mobile device. So naturally, I think it's going to be an easy gravitation here for me to jump in here and just start playing it on day one. So what you're seeing here on the side of the screen, this is going to be the Dead Cide Club, coming soon.com website. This is it, though. They don't have any additional information on here. I tried, saving stuff and clicking on stuff and moving stuff around, and there's just literally nothing else here to gather besides just this image and their logo. So again, very interesting here. I do like the overall design and aesthetics, but it just doesn't really tell us a whole lot. But I will, again, put this link down below so you guys can visit it. The second thing I want to show you guys, and that's going to be the official Twitter account for Dead Cide Club. They've already got one established. It's going to be at Dead Cide Club, all one word here for Twitter. They've got a couple of images on here, and we're going to dive into those in a second. But one thing I want to talk about, and that's going to be back on March 27th of 2022, they actually dropped their very first tweet called Stay Tuned, hashtag Dead Cide Club, hashtag DCC. And then the next thing I want to talk about, and that's going to be taking a look at some of these images here before we officially jump out of today's video. This is going to be one of the main ones that they shared actually on their Twitter account. And it looks very, very cool, man. Very, very clean. I think the overall graphics look really, really good. Again, keep in mind, this does not seem to be made for mobile devices at the moment. It's strictly going to be testing out, the graphics engine on your PC via the Steam client. But nevertheless, I mean, we got a lot to take in here. It's got like this really like down and dirty kind of like, apocalyptic style, going on. Not only that, we've got a monitor up here that's got some sort of potential gameplay image on here, coming from like a first-person point of view. On the left-hand side, we've got some sort of leaderboard, or, when it says monster here, maybe some sort of, mobs that we have to, target and kill in order for us to complete or beat the round. Very informational here. We've got a bunch of little icons on the bottom right-hand side. Again, you can zoom in on them, but it's not going to give you a whole lot of information. A lot of this is actually blurred out. Down here, we've got some case files and stuff. It looks like some, additional research on each individual person, maybe hinting more towards some of the, storyline and everything behind the game. And then we've also got a map here up at the top, which again is because it's signifying that it's some sort of, apocalyptic style, battle, intent shooter. Again, very, very cool. And essentially the second image we've got for you guys today, that's going to be this one, as you can see on screen. Again, this one's just provided from, a random blog post online. But again, it gives us that same exact vibe. It gives us that hardcore, apocalyptic, style hardcore shooter vibe. We've got a little bit of, blood splatter on the ground, some money and everything. And then we've also got, this guy dressed in some really, fashionable sneakers. But nevertheless, still very, very cool. Overall, I'm super excited to jump in here and check it out. And then last but not least, guys, we've got this image here for you. And that's going to be basically showcasing 3 individual images inside of the words Dead Cide Club. The very first one here, if we actually zoom in, I'm going to zoom in to kind of bring it up big here. This is going to be a chick that's sitting on a couch, looks to be playing some sort of game. Very, very similar to one that they already had posted, for Safe House in the past. But nevertheless, they're very much just reusing that image here. The second one we've got, and that's going to be some guy shooting this massive flamethrower at what looks to be some giant creature that's about to, ruin this guy's life. But nevertheless, very, very cool and wicked style. We've also got some sort of, zombie or, like I said, apocalyptic, themed creature here, on top for the eye for the word side. And then last but not least, we've got down here, and it looks like 2 people, looks like to be in some sort of like subway or tunnel, with something, glowing in the back here. Again, they're both carrying, armed weapons, really just going to be prepared for overall battle. And it says fierce psychological gun shooter. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up today's video, man. I'm super excited, not only for Dead Cide Club, but I'm also excited for anything and everything they're going to present us here for DevNov. I'm very curious to see what they're going to bring to the table. And not only that, how much information we are going to get about all these new games and future games that they have been currently working on. You let me know what your thoughts are down below, though, guys, on Dead Cide. I'm very curious to see how many people in my community are actually going to be interested in playing this, 3D, hardcore shooter game, and how many of you guys are actually going to be passing up on that and waiting for games like, Oven Smash or even Project B. Also, guys, don't forget, we will be going live here on the channel, and that's going to be April 13th for us here in America. So definitely make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. You got the notification bell turned on so you know exactly when I will be going live. With that being said, though, guys, also don't forget, I've got a Discord link that's provided down below. Almost 7,000 players over there that all play the Cookie Run games and going to be playing some of the additional Devsisters games as they are being developed and worked on. So if you want a cool place to hang out, we would love to have you. And with that being said, as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.